The Warframe 1999 update was pretty disappointing for a number of reasons. Hot off the heels of the rushed Kome update, the incredibly overhyped 1999 update brought a lot of lackluster content, and I'll be honest, I was quite disappointed. The new tile set is actually quite cool, but it suffers from being way too visually busy, putting even Deimos to shame. It would be fine though, except the missions in the tile set are just awful. The actual base missions are fine, with the exception of the new capture mission. The entire point of playing a capture mission is because it's a fast mission where you can rush, rinse, and repeat. Instead, the new capture mission turns into an AFK defense mission where you can capture the target after waiting 5 minutes. This is a stark contrast to the 40-second void runs. But this is not my core issue with the missions. It's the secondary missions within each mission. Having to find and open a hidden cache, or destroy vehicles that you have to run around the entire map for, all while not being able to see anything because of the busyness of the tile set. The worst of them is destroying the shields of a specific enemy type. At first, I didn't understand that it was the physical shield the enemy was carrying, and instead I assumed it was the more sensible idea of shield stripping an enemy. Trying to destroy a physical shield while you have an AoE weapon or an above average build, or teammates that kill everything in sight, is virtually impossible. One time, I was stuck in a mission for half an hour trying to complete the secondary objective while the main objective was already done at 5 minutes. Eventually, I just left the mission and learned that the only secondary mission that isn't awful is the killing of the underground enemies. Next up, the weapons. Yeah, neat but just mastery fodder, so nothing notable there. The Atami cycle. Cool in theory, absolutely useless in execution. You go faster than running, but only if you don't smash into everything, which is basically impossible. You might as well just parkour as usual, or play Titania or Wukong, or just put parkour velocity on everything else. I guess the new arcade game Caliber Chicks was neat, although apart from the initial release, I doubt anybody cares. The romance and relationship system was the nail in the coffin for me. Not only do I not want to play a dating game, but I can also talk to women in real life. We were told that it would be an optional part of the update, only to learn later that it is required to progress for the Syndicate. The icing on the cake of this is that's all so incredibly cringe. Of what little romance inquiries I experienced, it all feels like it's what a basement dweller's idea of what romance would be like. Making the characters a thirst trap drives me even farther away from wanting to date a spreadsheet. Because I don't care about the members of the Syndicate and their more awful version of the Deimos story, I also don't care about the Gemini skins and all the voice lines that go with them. I play this game to feel strong and look cool while doing it, which to me is certainly not playing as a human. All the items from the traders are absolute garbage with the exception of the Arcanes. Most of the Arcanes are kinda useless, but at least they add variety and some neat builds can be made with them. Of all of them, only one really stands out for me. Arcane Crepuscular. While invisible, gain plus 30% ability strength and plus 3 final critical multiplier. This arcane pairs pretty well with the new Warframe, which unfortunately is also a flop. Yes, you can deal very high damage with Cyto 9, but I challenge you to do it effectively in a normal mission. His first ability, Seek, which detects weak points through walls, is totally useless. His 2, Resupply, is pretty decent, but certainly not game-changing. His third ability, Evade, is his Subsume, is alright. It's actually very nice that we can now get invisibility on every frame, outside of the stationary invisibility Vara can give, but it is quite short. It can be extended by headshotting, which is really nice, but again, good luck getting that consistently in missions. I guess you could cheese it with a widespread shotgun. But this brings me perfectly to his fourth ability, Neutralize. Exalted Sniper. What more can I say? Neat in theory, awful in practice. Nobody runs snipers because they're just awful to use. Enemies move too fast and die too quickly to literally everything else. Before I move on to my next main point, I would like to actually list off the things I do like about the update. I really do like the new tile set, but the missions could be better. The new Arcanes and mods are always nice, the Trinity and Nyx updates are always welcome, and those two were nice. The new enemy type is nice. Yeah, that's about it. I think my biggest issue with all of this is it feels very segmented from the rest of the game. The other more open area places like the Plains of Eidolon, or Fortuna, or Deimos are all integrated into the main game loop, and you have to play them to progress. 1999 could be compared to the Zeramin, but the Zeramin actually has content worth getting, the Incarnons, as well as all of the Arcanes in actual content. Holovania is segmented from the rest of the game, literally. You have to go to a totally different terminal to access it. And I'll be honest, I like the computer and the interface, but it is totally detached like a parasite to the rest of the game. I would now like to talk about the only great thing to come out of this update, in my opinion, is a Harrow build. Harrow has an augment mod called Lasting Covenant, which increases the duration of your 4th ability crit chance buff. I previously used this mod in conjunction with the Dual Tox. Some of you might know where I'm going with this. The Dual Tox Incarnon will ricochet bullets into the heads of other enemies, which is perfect for extending the duration of the critical chance buff, and also perfect for extending the duration of Cyto 9's Helminth ability, the Invisibility. Using these things together is very powerful and actually playable. Not too long ago, there was the developer livestream covering the 1999 Part 2 update, the Techrot Encore, which actually looks like it has real content. It will finally deliver the Lich system, which was promised in the original update and then withdrawn, bringing along quite a few new weapons to farm and level up. On top of this, a new Warframe Temple will be added, although I will add it does look kinda cringe. More proto-frames, which I could sleep on, a new Archimedia mission, which looks like it might be good, but it also looks like it's a sticker collection simulator. A pseudo-exalted weapon rework, which I'm hopeful will be good, but also a bit skeptical on. A new Mario Kart minigame, which actually looks good, but most importantly, the new Geyer skin. This looks so good, I love steampunk, and I'll definitely pick this up when it drops. This is a pretty long-winded rant of saying I was unimpressed with the initial 1999 update, but I do look forward to Part 2. But watch it flop again, right? It seems like recently the scope of the updates is too big and moving too fast, resulting in half-baked content, which is obviously seen in the initial 1999 update, and having to take away a large portion of the promised content, along with Komei and the rush for the Tokyo Game Show. It has really resulted in me playing little to no Warframe within the past few months, apart from farming the new content when it comes out, which is done in a day or two. Anyways, if you have made it this far, thanks for watching, and have a great day.